Welcome back to Franchise Hockey Manager 10 with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. So as I said in the last episode, we're going to jump forward a couple seasons, but we're going to do kind of a play-by-play for the next couple minutes of what we've been up to over the last couple seasons. So first season that we ended up doing that we're just going to fast forward through, we got 58 wins, 17 losses, and 7 ties. We managed to win once again, though, 4 games to 2 against New Jersey. They did kind of fight us off. We were up 3-0 at one point, and they kind of came back over the last little while, beating us 1-0 over the course of it. But regular season, though, Paul Kariya kind of took a little bit of step back, though, but 96 points is still pretty good. He did fall short of his goals total, which is around usually around 50, but he got around 33, so St. Louis kind of jumped up there. But in terms of the whole league, though, we did finish top spot, not by much, though. Devils were very close to us, but we didn't really play them other than once throughout the season. Goals for, almost 100 more than the second place team. And then goals against, roughly around the same, but we only really have the one goalie. So we're going to kind of look at what we end up doing, at least in terms of the draft as well. So I believe we have to click on here. Look at the draft. So we did draft Dion Phaneuf in the first round. We got Dale Hunter in the fourth, Besh in the fourth as well, and then Romanov with the fifth. But we did manage to do some transactions as well. So we're going to look at some of the trades. I think I have to go back into transactions. So we did pull off some trades, though. We did get the rights of Ryan Getzlaf. We did give up John Madden, though, so it is heartbreaking to see him go. I think it was ultimately a fair trade. He is still 31, and it does kind of fast forward Thrashers just a little bit more. And we wanted to get Getzlaf. It seems pretty straightforward that we would get Getzlaf, considering he played his whole career with us. So we decided to obviously go with him. We did part ways with Ruchin as well. We got him for a 4th round pick, and that is pretty much it. We didn't really sign anyone other than Rick Nash, but Rick Nash did pretty good season 1. So we'll take a quick look at the points. Danny Heatley was 69, so all in all, not that much in terms of points, though. Everyone kind of dropped off. Even Solani's 61, but he's playing on the second line. I'm going to try and play him on the first for the next little while. He is 33, but I think we're going to tie him onto the same line as Paul Kariya. That just seems what's right. But all in all, doing pretty well. Rick Nash with 58 points. He could get the Calder this season. And even Plekanec doing a little bit better. 2.5 star. Getzlaf getting 32 points. Only 9 assists, though, but he is playing on the bottom line. And even Sean Avery's doing pretty good with 40 points. Goalie stats, though, we did bring in Yarmolenko, 8 wins, 4 losses, and 3 overtime losses with a .912 save percentage. That's actually not as bad as what I thought it was. And a .933 for Ryan Miller, which is really good. 47 wins, though, is insane. In the playoffs, he was 16-5-0. 215 save percentage and a 215 goals against and a 911 save percentage. We'll look at our players, though. St. Louis leading the charge, though, with 24 points. I might have to part ways with him. I think I kind of have to. I think it might be a little bit too easy since we're getting all these youngsters. Paul Kariya we're going to keep, obviously, and then Spezza as well. Spezza looks like he can be very good. I might even part ways with him as well, and same thing with Heatley. We might kind of look to refresh over the next 2 seasons, but let's jump to season 2 and see how well we managed to fare with all the changes that we end up doing. So we fast forward through the 2004-2005 draft and managed to come out on top once again. Standing wise throughout the regular season, in case anyone really cares about that, we did finish 2nd place against Calgary Flames. Only a couple wins really separated us, but I'm surprised that I guess they had ties as well. So that's probably why they ended up factoring it in differently. But still, 58 wins, you'd think that we would be at the top. But I guess the extra losses and the extra overtime losses are probably what ended up doing it for us. But goals for was still 347. Not good enough in terms of making our guys the top players. But we ended up playing against Vancouver first, beat them 4-1, beat St. Louis 4-0. And then beat Calgary 4-1, and then beat our familiar foe in the finals, New Jersey Devils 4-2. So all in all, that was pretty good, though. I will say that. But for whatever reason, they still have us as potential rivals with Flyers. I think we've only faced them off in the playoffs once. So the fact that they're still doing that seems kind of odd to me. Like it should be. I'll have to take a closer look, but we beat. Pretty sure, yeah, we beat New Jersey Devils in the finals there. Got to hit history again. And I think we beat them again here. Yeah, we beat them at least twice. And I don't know the last time that we ended up playing. We lost to Ottawa, obviously. Who do we play here? We beat Philly, so I did face them once though. And who did we play before that? It was probably Ottawa. Ottawa. So I would say between Ottawa and New Jersey, I think we've only faced off against Philly once. So I find that kind of odd, but it is what it is. What can you really say? But a quick look at what we did last season. We drafted Krejci, Radulov, Pogge. I mean, Leafs fans will definitely love that. I think we can build him into a better player, though. Currently, only 1.5 potential, though. But I think we can see if sheer force of will can develop him. Boris Valabik and then Kirill Liamin. So none of these players have played for us. I think we did sign a Krejci as well. The season before, though, we ended up getting Dion Phaneuf, Dale Hunter, Besh, and Romanov. So not many picks last season and the season before, but we do have a decent amount of picks for us this season. But quick look at how well our players did last season. You did have Paul Kariya with 100 points once again. Danny Heatley came in second, though, with 92, though, which is kind of odd when you look at the fact that he also plays left wing. So that's second line minutes, and still, I mean, at least a minute and a half less than Paul Kariya, and still getting 92 points is very good. Spezza now the top line center with 91 points. St. Louis with 90. We are going to offload him, I think, this season. We're going to try and go all in to get a top pick. Wisnowski, 83, very good. And then Solani kind of dropping down to 60, so we still want to bring him back to the top line. But between Paul Kariya and Solani, they're not scoring in the regular season, but in the playoffs, you have Paul Kariya with 11 goals, and like all in all, that's pretty good. Where's Solani in all this? Solani ended up getting 1 goal, 11 assists. So all in all, didn't really do too much. But we had Prusek. I think he got claimed on waivers. Then we put in Jan Danis, but I don't think we have him anymore. Can we sign him? Okay, I guess we can sign him as our backup. Thank God. For whatever reason, I can't find any of the free agents here, and the only ones that we have are ours, really. But we did manage to make an offer to Joe Thornton, so I find that a little bit odd that we're able to do that kind of stuff, but we can't find any of the other players. But we're going to jump to the draft. Let's see what the result is for this draft as well, and we'll end up playing this whole season, and let's see what we can do to change our team and make it a little bit more challenging moving forward, since we've won our 7th cup, and obviously we want to win more, but we want to kind of develop our talent and make them kind of spread out throughout the whole NHL and get them to compete against our team as well. So St. Louis is probably going to go. We're going to probably try and go all in for a rookie this season as well. So let's see how the draft ends up going out. And we're about to begin the 2005-2006 season, but before that, a season preview. They say that we're Cup favorites once again. It seems like that's what happens every year. Led by Joe Thornton, which we'll get into that a little bit later. And obviously we have Danny Heatley, who's going to challenge for the scoring title. But I don't think so. I'll show you a little bit more afterwards. And then we have Wisnowski that could get the top defenseman as well. So quick look. We'll look at the draft first and show you the players that we end up getting. We got Kopitar, Jordy Ben, Carl Gunnarsson, Rito Berra, Lashov, Muller, Hagemo, Thang, Roy Mark, Jacobson, and Bang. Obviously, I'm surprised Anze Kopitar went all the way to 12. I had him pegged as being the top one, but we did do crazy trades though. Bear with me here. It's going to be a lot crazier than you think. So obviously we signed Joe Thornton throughout the off season, and I'm surprised that we even got him. But we'll look at all the signings first. So obviously we signed Crosby, but we ended up having to trade for him. We signed Radulov and Krejci, both not with us either. We did sign Joe Thornton. Joe Thornton for around 6.1 million a season for 2 years. But here's where it gets crazy. The trades that we ended up doing. So we got rid of Zitnik, which ended up being a third-round pick, which was Rito Berra, who then we also offloaded as well. So Crosby, we ended up getting. We traded Plekanec, Krejci, Semin, and Gawk, and a first-rounder. But then I felt as though it wasn't necessarily enough, so we gave up Jason Spezza for a first-rounder as well. So ultimately, I mean, Jason Spezza and Crosby, at least in terms of their ranking, is pretty on par. I mean, he's already a 4.5 star. Obviously, Crosby's not quite, but we all know how Crosby ends up turning out. 4 star. So just off that surface, it looks good. Plekanec also around 4. He's going to be around a 4 as well. So we definitely gave them a lot more tools as well. Krejci's going to be a 5-star. I can almost guarantee that. He's already 19 and he's looking that good. Semin's just going to be an additional piece as well. His physicals are very good. So is his offensive rating, and he was doing pretty good for us last season as well. 34 points in 65 games is pretty good. Gawk, who's just more of a fringe player, that was just kind of an add-in, but who knows, he could also develop. His defensive rating's pretty good, so you could see him eventually being there. Yeah, giving up a first-round pick to get Crosby, I'll do that all day, every day. And then we end up trading away Spezza for their first pick, so I mean, we basically just swapped within a couple of years. We're obviously going hard into it this season, and who knows where we're going to be in 2008, but I feel as though that pick's not necessarily going to mean the same. And then we end up trading for a first-rounder as well. We got rid of Martin St. Louis and Rito Berra, 2 fours for Telquist and their first-round pick. Obviously, St. Louis worth a lot more than that. He should have been a couple picks, but we're not gonna cheat like that. And we're going to try and make it as fair as possible. 90 points player for sure, and he's definitely going to revolutionize their team for sure. Then I end up seeing that Dustin Byfuglien had a pretty good game, so we gave up Trigg and Skula. Trigg looking pretty good. He's a 3.5 star, but he's going to be very good for their team. 65 grade, and then Skula, who's going to come up into it. 25 though. His offensive rating is pretty good, and also his defensive rating, a 2.5 star. So we swapped him. We basically swapped 2.5 stars because Klein is around 2.5. Granted, he is only 20, so it can always change. But his mental rating is pretty good. I did like his defensive as well. I kind of like the stay-at-home and old-school defenders, so we're gonna kind of go with that. And then Dustin Byfuglien. I really hope that they don't try and make him as a forward. I'd rather him as a defenseman. So we're gonna definitely play him as defense. He did get 22 points last season, only 63 grades, so I feel as though, yeah, we're going to focus on training him as defenseman. We're just going to have to pay attention to that. And then the biggest trade that we ended up doing, other than the Crosby one, was we decided to pair up Crosby and Ovechkin, so we gave up Danny Healy, Finneganov, the rights to Eriksson, and a first rounder and a second rounder for Corey Perry and Ovechkin, just to have Ovechkin and Crosby on the same line, which I feel as though is going to be extremely cool to have. Eventually, we're going to try and pair up Malkin as well. We'll try and put all 3 together. That'd be insane, but that's probably not going to happen until Paul Kariya and Timmy Solani retire, because this is going to be your second line. And Ovechkin, I mean, obviously his physical ratings look very good. His defensive rating is not that good at all. His offensive rating's amazing, obviously. He only got 50 points last season, which seems like a slouch, but we'll kind of show off our team in a sec. But we spent hours trying to figure out those trades just to kind of make it work. But all in all, this is what our team's going to look like. Going to be insane just to watch. We do have Ponikarovsky, Avery, and Paragosen. I feel as though that's a very underrated line, though. And currently Bufflin's not playing just because he's coming back from injury. So we still have Radulov. I thought I tried to trade Radulov. So we have Radulov, Scotty Upshall, and Dustin Bufflin at the moment as our backup players that can't quite make the roster yet, which is insane when you think of it. We're going to swap that up there. There we go. So yeah, Ponikarovsky, Avery, Paragosen, Cal Wellwood, Ryan Getzlaff, and Corey Perry. I really like that line too. Ovechkin, Crosby, and Nash. That is an insane lineup. And then Paul Kariya, Joe Thornton, and Timmy Solani. Obviously, this is like one of the best lineups that we could ever ask for. And then we have Kopchin, who's obviously not good enough, but he'll end up swapping up once Bufflin's good. Then we have Volchenkov as our other defender, Klein and Dion Phaneuf as our second line, Wisnowski and Regier as our top line defenseman, which is, I mean, just insane. Once Bufflin gets on here, I wonder what's going to end up happening. Probably, I imagine Klein's going to come to the bottom, and then we're going to have him as one of those two, which would be pretty darn good. So opening night, let's see if everything kind of meshes well. Obviously, we have to do something about that. Yep. There's no way in hell Scotty Upshall will get number 9, though. So let's start it off, see if we can win game 1, and we lose. That star power we end up losing. Jesus, that is insane. Both defenders score, though. Kevin Klein and Robin Regier end up scoring. So opening night, we already lose, which is kind of crazy when you think of it, especially with the star power of this team. And it does look like Bufflin is ready to go, but still 69 though. And he does go on the bottom line, I guess. As long as he doesn't go as a forward. So we at least win that game. So granted, I mean, Chicago's pretty difficult to beat anyways. Kariya gets his first goal of the season. Joe Thornton, Nash, Bufflin as well, and Rick Nash getting there as well. So I think they changed around the top line though. Langdon Burner now going for Mike Rupp. So one of the guys that we ended up having earlier that we end up getting rid of, that we end up getting seven with them. So I mean, ultimately had pretty good career though. I would have loved to bring him back though. He's not much of a point scorer though, and I don't really see why isn't it showing his grade though. I find that very weird. Oh, he's only at a 59 so far this season. He was doing a lot better with us, obviously. But we have a couple focuses of teams that we want to obviously tank. One of them being Montreal, the other one being Detroit. Sean Avery getting 2 goals there as well. Crosby getting his very first goal, so we get to keep the puck for this game. And then Timmy Solani with his first as well. And I mean, there's no one... I find it hard to believe which other player I would want after looking at this team. I do want to see Cal Wellwood do good things as well. But we'll take a look actually at prospect rating first. So, yeah, Red Wings have the top one. Keith Yandel, actually. Jeez. Keith Yandel, Krejci, they also have Loophole and Ryan Callen. Their team is really good, actually. We're second in terms of that. Obviously, Crosby, Kopitar, Radulov, Upshall, and Paragosen. Upshall is actually 65th rank. But I want to see the positional rankings. Jaromir Jagr still at the top overall. Spezza also at the top. So that trade was very good for everyone. Danny Healy. So we gave up the 6 and 7 just to get the players that we wanted. So not bad at all. Joe Thornton ends up claiming the 10th spot though. In terms of centers though, obviously Crosby and Thornton. So we bumped down to 5 and 6 for obviously giving up the second one. Eric Stahl would be a cool one. Eric Stahl ended up going to Pittsburgh. That's interesting. And then LeCavalier. Okay, Getzlaff is our other one. So we have a couple of the top centers there. Left wing, obviously giving up Heatley. So Kovalchuk and Heatley, that is pretty funny to see as the top two. And then Ovechkin, obviously, he'll be at the top in a couple of years. Marlowe would have been a cool one to get as well. But I feel as though he's going to be Tampa Bay for life. And then right wing St. Louis now at the top as well. So all the players that we end up helping develop, even Rick Nash is at the top too. That's interesting to see. Defenseman, we have Wisnowski, and that's about it. It's Chara, who we end up having before. I really want to go all in for Weber, but I feel as though we're going to have to wait kind of another season or not, probably around that. And our goalie's not actually here. That is weird. Pekka Rinne is there. I think he was a first or second overall player, which I find kind of crazy. We end up winning 8-0 there. Goals from Getzlaff, Bufflin, and Ovechkin at Solani, Phaneuf, Korea. So I wonder if this is just going to be an all offensive team and not necessarily a defensive team. But we'll switch that kind of stuff up. Wonder how much Radulov actually really plays this season. And okay, that's how it's actually going to look. So yeah, Kopchin. So it's going to rotate between Kopchin and Volchenkov between the last D, but pretty much all the other is figured out, and then everything else is more or less figured out. I do want Crosby on the second line. There's no way I'm splitting them up. Wonder how our power play is actually. We lose 2-1. Wonder if that made a difference. Cal Wellwood getting his first goal, but not enough. Miller now hurt. Oh my god. Fractured ankle. This is crazy. Tom Ford's going to have to be our backup. That is crazy. And then Telquist is now our starter for the next couple months. This is going to be... Our first round pick might actually be worth something this season. Oh no, yeah, we gave it up. Yeah, we gave up our first, so we have Montreal and Detroit, but with that injury, it's definitely going to be a lot more difficult. He probably won't be back until January 1st, I imagine. So we're going to have to make do without it. We're probably not going to get the top spot. Kings, geez, our trade is probably going to screw us over there for sure. Montreal currently towards the bottom, and oh yeah, they're on the... Red Wings actually doing better than what I would have thought, but there's still a lot more in the season to do, but that injury is going to be huge. We win 7-1, so at least we can win with the backup, and you'll be back for the playoffs for sure. Joe Thornton, Rick Nash, Joe Thornton, Korea, and then Korea and Wisnowski, and Upshall getting probably his first goal ever for us. Yeah, first goal ever. Second point overall. Yeah, I don't like to touch any of that stuff. Dion Phaneuf can now play left defense. We're playing against this. This is going to matter a lot this game. See if we can win here. We win 4-3, so at least we're going to make their team worse. Marcel Gox scores against us. I really like seeing that. Bufflin. Fedorov is how old? 35. If he's still there, we're going to try and trade for him for the playoffs. And then Rick Nash, Joe Thornton getting goals there as well. They had Chris Higgins as well. That's one of the players that we wanted to get, but I think we opted for someone else instead. See how Chris Higgins is doing. They also have Langburner, so they're like our team. Like all the players that we end up trading seem to find their way to that team. 35 points, 26 goals. That is insane. 26 goals, but his stats are pretty bad. He doesn't end up playing that crazy amount. 711 games. That's actually more than what I thought he played. But that's insane. 26 goals, and it's just like a shot in the dark. There's nowhere else that he ended up doing that well. Naslin, how old is he now? 32. So all the old players are going to start to go. Kevin Klein now injured. I don't like that. 9-1 victory, though. Joe Thornton, Rick Nash, Corey Perry, Dustin Bufflin in the first, and then Joe Thornton, Korea, and Avery in the second, and then Bufflin and Dion Phaneuf in the third. We do give up our shutout, though. Some of these trades are very odd, though. Like, I understand that they're trading away just one player, like a one-star player. 6-3 win there, so at least we win against our divisional rivals. Fenaganov scores against us, obviously. I really want to see him do well, though. Fenaganov, that was a hard one to get rid of. Obviously, his offensive rating is very good. He's already at a 66 and 11 points in 10 games. So that's what happens when he actually gets to really play a lot more minutes, an extra 5 minutes per game. That is much better than what we were doing for him. And we'll face off against Calgary. Now our backup goalie is going to get his first nod. So Ford, here you go. Let's see if he can manage to win against a clearly good Calgary team. We lose 2-1 in shootouts. Okay, Dustin Byfuglien scored, and then they tied it up 10 minutes in the third. Getzlaf missed, Cal Wellwood missed, and Paul Kariya missed. Oh, they have Malkin. How's Malkin doing? Malkin's not doing good at all. Ooh. Let's see. Let's try it. I'm going to make the fairest trade that I can think of. They would do this, too. Oh, he's center, though. Center and left wing, that's not really going to help us. I'd rather him play right wing. At least we know we can make that trade. We're not going to do it right now. But we might do it at some point. And we'll just do 1-for-1, because I feel as though that's pretty fair. Oh, Tom Ford, damn it, I forgot to change it. But we do win 5-1. Henrik Lundqvist, I wonder how he's doing. Nash gets his 6th, 7th, and Solani, Getzlaf, and Ovechkin on the board as well. 5-1 win there. And Zitnik completes 1,000 games. Kind of disappointing that we didn't get to keep him though. He had played a decent amount with us, but we sent him back to Sabres, the original team that he was on. Actually, he was on LA Kings before. So sorry, the team that he was on for a lot of his career. And currently, I mean, 471 stats was, yeah, he did a lot better when he ended up coming onto our team, that's for sure. But we just parted ways with him just because he's getting older. And he is one of our focuses on defense, so I figured why not Crosby getting his second, Nash, and then Getzlaf there as well. So why not kind of give him a chance there at another team. And give some of our youngsters also an opportunity. I did that before I even thought of the trade that we're going to do. I got to do that again now. Development report, Crosby's obviously improving. Strength, leadership, and offensive read now 5-star potential. I think it showed that before. Klein, defensive read, pretty good. Corey Perry, shooting accuracy. Ponikarovsky, shooting accuracy. Dirty Ben screening, so he's still only 1-star. I'm more focused on Pogge. Kopitar developing pretty good agility, determination, and checking. Daniel Bang. Carl Gunnarsson is also one that I'm very curious about how he turns out. Sean Avery just slowly deteriorating at 25, which seems kind of weird since he's not fighting nearly as much. So we're going to obviously up these ones. We'll do the scouting one after. So let's do AI again. We'll probably play the back-to-back there, and those will be our last games there that we'll do, and then we'll come back for the end of the season. We lose 6-4 though. I'm not even going to focus on who ended up doing what there, but obviously we're not doing as well as what we should. Obviously, I keep doing AI setup organization at the wrong time, and Telquist now goes down to a 2-star. That is disappointing to see, since we gave up so much for him. We do win 4-3 though, so he does at least get that. Nash gets his 10th before Crosby, Regier, and oh my god, Jeff Finger, and then Nash gets another one as well. So it looks like Nash is going to be the one that ends up competing for that instead of Healy. I'll be very interested to see who ends up getting the Rocket Richard there. 7-4. So Cal Wellwood getting a goal there. Joe Thornton leveling it for us. Dustin Byfuglien, Ryan Getzlaf, and Ryan Getzlaf again before Ovechkin and then Rick Nash. Rick Nash is tearing it up in the goals column for sure. So we'll take a look at the standings. Currently, we're first place in our division. 11, 1, and 3. So overtime losses. We've only lost one in relegation. So LA Kings is pretty much the opposite. So now LA Kings is now starting to establish themselves, whereas Dallas Stars is not. Sergei Gonchar is injured, but they have Letnin at 32, Zubov, who's now 35. Yeah, they're not going to be commanding anything. They have Giordano as well. Giordano could be a big trading player. They got him for Kostopoulos. That is insane. That is a terrible trade. They also have Tioma Rutu, but he's 22. They have Darian Hatcher, who's now 33. So yeah, their team is starting to get old. Chris Kunitz is even 26 though, and yeah, that's kind of insane. Kamara, yeah, Zubov, Gonchar, they're starting to get up there in age, so they need to win very soon. But doesn't look like a rebuild's quite in stores yet. Danny Heatley, 8 goals, 7 assists, 15. So a point per game. They also have Hartnell as well with 11 points. So they're not actually doing as well as I thought. Rob Blake at 35. But they still have a young core. They just have like the odd old player. Finneganov's going to fit in very well there. Timonen. I would have liked to get Kimmo Timonen for sure. And they got Oleg Saprikin. Was that the Saprikin that we had? It is. And we traded him for Perot. How well has he done? Not very well. So we're not really going to miss him that much. But Camilleri, Datsuk, Sikora, Kovalev, and Morrison ahead of Thornton and Nash. So I don't see Paul Kariya, Terry Miscellany anywhere. We'll have to take a look at our stats to kind of figure that one out. So currently, yeah, Kariya's taken a step back, only a point per game. Joe Thornton was 23, Rick Nash with 21, Bufflin with 19. So pretty good for defensemen. And then Paul Kariya with 16, Ovechkin with 16, Getzlaff with 14, Crosby almost a point per game, Wisnowski 11, and then same thing with Solani, he's around 10, Diafanov with 9, and Regier around kind of what we expected of him over the last little while. Cal Wellwood improving, slow, a little bit slower than expected, but 3.5 star. So now he's starting to look pretty good. This is what would have probably happened if he actually went to a team that that developed him properly and didn't rush him too early. So he started playing for us at 21, 1 year after. I guess I guess they developed him a little bit longer, but he did get game time with us. Not expecting to do it all. Ponikarovsky not really doing anything with his time. And we'll take a look at our goalies and how well they're actually faring. Kind of disappointing. So 6, 1, and 1. That is pretty good. 906 save percentage, but Todd Ford with the higher save percentage. 3 games, 2 wins, 1 overtime loss, 930 save percentage. That is insane. We just signed this guy for nothing. That is surprisingly. I'm actually stunned by that. But looking at it, Montreal, second place, still in rebuild mode. And same thing with Detroit. So our pick is not looking that good. Yeah, overall there's the 9th and the 11th. So would have been a lot better if we traded another team. I think Tampa was one of those teams that I could have traded, who's doing a lot worse than what I would have expected. But let's jump to the trade deadline or the end of the season and see where we are, when the dust settles, and hopefully we can get our goalie back, or Telquist to kind of develop a little bit better into our at least number 1 for now team. Washington Capitals on a 10-game losing streak. That is insane. That is insane. Who do they have? They have Brent Burns, Frolov Jokinen, Dustin Penner. So no center. Franzen. Jeez, that's insane. So let's jump to that and see when the dust settles where we are. And as we near the trade deadline, we are starting to veteran shop. Matt Sundin here we can get for Scotty Upshall a 7th and a 6th, especially since Toronto is definitely not going to make the playoffs. And all we have to do is finalize this trade, and we end up getting him. So we'll look at we're at Toronto last. We're going to see if we can get any of these other players here. Sundin actually only the same age as Solani, so I guess it's not as good. Bondra's one of those guys that we're looking at. Trevor Linden as well. could get Matthew Schneider. Didn't he play for... Yeah, I thought he played for Rangers. He plays until he's 40. Obviously, we're not... I don't think we're going to be able to get him, but we'll have to keep a quick note on that. Probably the guy that we maybe should have targeted. Hines, Pronger could be... Pronger... We're going to go for Pronger. Pronger played some of his years in Anaheim. Let's see, make this work. Anyone will do, which does make me happy. So we'll probably end up giving up a defender. Probably not our best, not our worst, but Volchenkov. Klein could be one of those guys. I do like, well, he's 21 actually, maybe not Klein. Volchenkov. Do like Volchenkov's stats. I feel as though he's criminally underrated and would do very well on any other team. So maybe I don't get rid of one of the players that we actually want. Paragosin. We could. Yeah, I'm gonna give up Paragosin. See if they'll bite for that. It's very likely they'll accept. All right, let's finalize that deal. And roster-wise, yeah, Kopchin's gonna probably go down. We can probably bring in someone else. Depth chart. We don't have any other defender. Mark Stewart is down there as well. Interesting. So last one we were at was St. Louis. I think we might want one more. Owen Nolan. No, he's only a 2-star. Sandis Ozelinch. What would it take? No, too pricey. We're not gonna go for that. But Sandis Ozelinch would be a good one for the off season. We'll have to just take note. He's 33. Mar Lemieux is 40. They'll never let us get him. Look at his defensive rating. His defensive rating is terrible. Okay, they would bite, but it's still going to be too pricey, especially since he's not going to play another season. No, that's them. Alright, let's see. Dion Phaneuf. Telquist. It's very likely they'll accept. Okay, so... Still likely. Feels though it'd be wrong to kind of go for this trade, because he never plays for anyone else. He stays with them. Yeah, I can't bring myself to actually do that. It would be fun, and they're going to be in the playoffs. That seems stupid. Yeah, we're not going to do that. I still have a moral code that I can't bring myself to do stuff like that. Teppo Niminen would be a good one. Are they in a playoff spot? His mental is just off the charts, but everything else is kind of basic. Rob Brind'Amour, that'd be a cool one. He's still 3 stars. Good defensive forward. Left wing. Who's our left wing now? It'd be Wellwood, Ponikarovsky. 64. They're probably not in the playoffs. Eric Lindros at 33. John LeClaire would be a cool one too. So yeah, they'll kind of go for anyone. So I think we can probably part ways with Ponikarovsky. Yeah, I do like Ponikarovsky. They're kind of the same player. Stick checking, defensive read. I just kind of want to see these players develop, and then we can kind of get some of the other ones as well. Oh, he's right wing. I thought he was left wing. So who's our fourth line left? We'll look at our roster here. And oh, he was left wing. Let's AI set up organization real quick. After these trades. So now Phaneuf gets bumped off. Stewart? Why is Stewart on here? Why do we have Stewart here? Whatever, he can stay. Ovechkin's off. Okay, so he's tired. Let's look at our lines now. Sean Avery, Sundin Radulov. Okay. Kyle Wellwood. Who else is here then? Volchenkov. Obviously, Ovi's going to be back in the lineup. So that looks like it, unless we can kind of find an upgrade. But we'll look at how we are in the standings. We currently have 50 wins in 59 games. I mean, Telquist did absolutely amazing when he was filling in. He was 33 games, 29 wins, 3 losses, and 1 overtime loss with 2 shutouts. Even the backup did pretty good. So that's where we find ourselves, and obviously we're going to look at our players as we go. Obviously we parted ways with some of them, but Crosby, currently top points getter, 85 points in 59 games in his rookie season. Joe Thornton with 85, Ovechkin with 78, Nash with 76, Paul Kariya with 76, all more than a point per game. Where it drops off is Vivsnovsky, who's only like 5 points off, and then Getzlaff has 51 and 59, Phaneuf with 42, Corey Perry with 40, and then Solani 33. So he's the one that's hurting the most out of it. Matt Sundin doesn't even have that many points on the Leafs right now. Jesus, he's a grade 58. So hopefully that doesn't hurt us, but we're going to kind of take a quick look. I feel as though we can still bring in at least one person. Oh, we're looking at the wrong thing. There we go. Teppo Nieminen, so we already saw that. Rangers have Brian Leetch. I can't bring myself to do that. I think Brian Leetch plays his whole career there as well. Oh, he goes to the Leafs after. I still can't do that. Feels though he's more of a New York legend. I can't do that. Travis Green, no. Smolitsky, Ziggy Palffy. If we can bring in Ziggy, I will be happy. No, they want way too much for him. I'll never be able to get Ziggy Palffy. They also have Todd Bertuzzi at 31. He's that old, eh? Robin Raquel? Robert, yeah. Can't go to them. Scott Niedermayer would be the only one I could do. Let's see what it's going to take. Ah, they want a lot for him. None of them are Wisnowski's the only defenseman out of all those. Yeah, we can't do that, obviously. As much as it would be fun, we can't do that. Their team's pretty young. Mark Recchi, Pierre Turgeon. I think we had Turgeon, didn't we? Was it Turgeon? Jeremy Roenick, still 36 in the game. Medvedev, Rob Blake. Rob Blake looking decent. Dunham, Niedermayer, Doug Waite. Doug Waite would be good. They could make the playoffs. I thought that was Roman Chichmanek for a second. Alright, let's see if we could get him. No. They won't even entertain it. It's obviously going to cost way too much. Detroit, Sergei Fedorov. Let's go. Ugh, they won't trade him. I mean, he does leave them, though. He goes to us. I remember him on Columbus as well. So we can't get Fedorov. No. Can't get Fedorov. Who else can we get? Mike Modano. That would be a cool one. Alright, let's see. Again, his defensive rating's not that good. And looks like we can definitely get him. But we're going to have to give up one of our younger guys. Probably... It'd be Radulov that we would have to get rid of. I could get rid of Sean Avery. That'd be a cool one. I think he goes there in real life. Yeah, he does for one season. Do we do it? I do like Sean Avery. He's been with us for a while. He's won how many cups with us? He's only won 4. So I'm not too upset about that. They'll accept it. And we'll do that. And let's see if there's another one. I mean, his grade is only a 61. I do hate that we got rid of a youngster, though. We'll go this way now. Might even trade some of the other guys if we like him. John Madden now 32. It would be nice to bring him back at some point. Because, well, we got Getzlaff for him. What's his contract like? This is his last year. Oh, we could get him back. When did we trade him? We traded him 3 years ago. Now they want too much for him, but we can probably sign him in the offseason. Hopefully. Boston. Zitnik. No. Adam Foote. That would be a good one. Can't bring myself to do that, though. Keith Primo. Chris Chelios. He's still 44 in the game. That's insane. Sakic we could bring back. Forsberg would be fun. And seems like that's it. So we'll look at our roster now. I think I just got one too many centers, though. Mike Badano, Sundin, and Radulov is a line. Rob Bringdamore, Getzlaff, and Solani. It's going to be interesting to see what happens once Ovi comes back. And obviously we have to assign the numbers. As you can see, I changed the picture now in the corner. I find that pretty cool. So we're just going to go full, like, I guess Detroit of, like, 2000s. And just go with a bunch of veterans, see if we can get everything together. First game we lose, though. Crosby, Thornton, Getzlaff, all goals, but nothing you can do. Suspended? Ryan Getzlaff's now suspended. Fantastic. Obviously, we're not going to end any more to it. We could have got Nabokov on waivers too, but felt as though that wasn't right to do to Telquist, who did us very good for sure. 5-4 we end up winning. So our defense is definitely lacking now. Nash, Bringdamore, Solani, and then that is it. And then Paul Kariya, I guess, in overtime. So let's actually take a look at our. Do we have any of these guys on for next year? Rob Bringdamore, no. No. Mike Modano, no. Matt Sundin, no. And Corey Perry has to be extended, obviously. Dustin Buffalo, I didn't even realize he wasn't extended. I feel so dumb now. Kevin Klein, obviously we're going to extend as well. At least we have Telquist. We have Telquist for 3 seasons. I do like that. Corey Perry, Matt Sundin, I could bring myself to do it, but we're going to do it all at the end of the season. We're going to probably keep one of them. Whichever one ends up performing the best for us in the regular season as well as postseason, we're probably going to end up keeping. But everyone else is on notice. That's trade deadline, nothing else to it. Wow, there's a lot of trades here. Jesus. See if there's any. Keith Primo goes to Stars. Heinze goes. Bouchard. Eric Daze goes as well at 30. And Kevin Adams is probably the best one that we ended up seeing so far. Ryan Carter. Interesting. Rajan Beauchemin. So nothing that really jumps out. But Healy has been doing very good. 81 points in 61 games. It was definitely a fair trade, that's for sure, getting rid of him. But 5-1, we're not playing nearly as good as what we were before we got all these players. I think we got rid of our gel for sure. Oh, damn. I need to switch goalies. Yeah, we probably made it a little bit too difficult on our team. 8-1 though, so I guess not so much. Kevin Klein, Crosby, Kariya, Crosby, Ovi, Perry, and Ovi with 36 and a shorthanded goal there. Just making them. Dortuten. I wanted Dortuten so bad too. Oh yeah, he went in the second round. We can probably grab him later though. Dortuten would be a good one. Remember I was on the fence. I can't remember who I got. We lose to Detroit. That is not a good sign. Chicago now. Can't believe we were doing so well before and now we're just tanking. It's all the trades, I feel. That is insane. Columbus, another loss. That is how many straight? Yeah, trades definitely affect how well you do. We're still in first though, but 52 wins. We only had like 3 losses in regulation. We're on a 3-game losing streak. And let's look at, so 3-game losing streak, but still we won one. I guess we won the 9-0. I guess it's not as bad as what it's feeling like, I guess. Chris Pronger's now hurt. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Oh, I guess we hit continue. We'll do it again. Michael Nylander gets 1,000 games. Oh, I already did that. Six three, so we at least can beat our rivals there. Wisnowski, Bufflin, Corey Perry, Crosby, and Wisnowski. So none of the veterans are actually getting anything. We'll have to take a look at other games as well, but so far none of the veterans are doing very well. 3-2 win. Let's see. Paul Kariya shorthanded. Rick Nash gets his 40th. And it feels like there's another one here that I'm missing. We won 3-2. Where's the other one? Oh, we won in shootouts. So goal for Getzlaf, goal for Kariya, and that is it. Oh, okay, suspension over now. That's good. Maybe it was Getzlaf being out. Holy hell. Black eye, lacerated hand, sore ankle. My god. And we have back-to-back games. We're going to lose one of them, or both. 6-3. We end up winning that one at least. Matt Sundin now improves on the right wing. Was curious to see where he was going to play. But obviously, as you can see, we're just going to kind of play it as it goes. So yeah, Matt Sundin's on the right. That is, I do like that line though. Rob Brindamore, Mike Vidano, and Sundin. That is solid bottom line. And then Radulov's obviously not playing yet. 5-4 win. We'll probably only keep one or two of them, but obviously we have other players coming in the woodwork. Crosby, Joe Thornton, Rick Nash, Crosby again, and then Brindamore. All goals. I might even get rid of. Yeah, I might have to get rid of Thornton though. Probably next season. I think Crosby and obviously Kopitar coming in. We're definitely going to need to get rid of one of the top centers there, but it's good enough for a year though, maybe even 2. Kariya gets his 36th, 37th goal. Crosby gets his 44th, and Getzlaf gets his 24th. So since Getzlaf has been back, he's definitely the glue for sure. Oh yeah, Dallas. Playing our backup now. Doing 5-2, which is reassuring. Corey Perry gets a goal. Ovechkin with his 38th. Crosby with his 45th. Cal Wellwood, amidst everyone else, Cal Wellwood's still doing pretty good. I do like, I mean, 44 points. 44 points is very good. 66 grade, I do like that as well. He's only getting 12 minutes, so with an extra 3 minutes, he's doing very good, considering. Chris Pronger's now back. Chris Pronger might be the guy that we end up re-signing if he's not already. But we did want to add older guys in our team just to kind of balance it out. Crosby with his 46, Kariya with the 38. Klein even gets his 4th now. That only 4 goals for Klein is kind of shocking. Just as much as 14 goals for Solani is shocking. Thornton there scoring as well. Torn hamstring. Oh my god, so our top defender is going to be out. 9 games left. He might be back. I'm just going to do no. I think he should be back for playoffs. Or at least maybe second round or something. Oh yeah, Kopchin's now back. But obviously it turns out that the teams that we end up trading for Canadians, we have their first rounder, and same thing with Red Wings, and they're performing incredible. League-wise, I mean, not as good, but still we gave them up, and I mean those picks aren't going to be worth jack for sure. 7-5 win there. Telquist, I didn't realize they left him in. Getzlaf, Crosby. Oh yeah, they have Datsuk. Korea now with his 39th, so he's back on track. Just one off. I guess we need to get rid of St. Louis for him to really start to shine back into the role that we had from him before. But Crosby with 47 is still kind of outshining it as well. Thorne with 66 assists. 7-4 win again against LA Kings. So that is going to be the harder team out of all the teams in the West for sure, which is a division rival as well. Thornton, Sundin gets his 9th and a shorthanded goal to boot. And then we have Bufflin with his 29th, Korea with his 40th, Nash with his 42nd, and Phaneuf with his 12th before Pronger scoring. Pronger only has 2 goals. Oh my god. But he's got a 67 grade on them. 58 for us, so that is not what you want to see. Regeer's now suspended. Fantastic. And we win 3-0, not bad. Cal Wellwood gets a goal, Corey Perry with his 21st, and then Paul Korea with his 41st. And hopefully we can manage to 127. We still have 62. I wonder what the record is. We could have had a better chance at beating the record beforehand. But not bad at all. League-wise, yeah, commanding. My god, Devils are still at our heels despite us having probably the best season that we've had. 62 wins, is that the best? What the hell, cheerleader? Okay, that's weird. Alright, let's go back. 62. That is the best, or 65 is the best. If we can get 65, we're good. 4-2. Rick Nash, Rob Bringdamore, Getzlaf, Crosby getting goals there as well. There's someone else, but I missed them. Only a handful more games. But I do like Telquist as a backup. 5-4 win there. Too many goals getting scored against us, though. Crosby with 2 there, Getzlaf, and then Solani. So a very, very busy second period, but other than that, no one else ended up scoring. We have Calgary now, probably the heart of the two teams. Telquist is going to get the nod here. See if we can manage to get a win here. 5-3, we do. Against Raycroft, they're only 39, 34, and 6. Malkin we were looking at getting a trading as well. He's got his 31st. We could do it. Medano, Ovechkin, and Getzlaf. Getzlaf doing pretty good. He's now a 4.5 star. Jesus, our centers are just insane. Yeah, our top 3 are all 5 stars. Jesus, Cal Wellwood doing pretty good as well. Volchenkov now injured. Fantastic. 1 to 2 months now with the sprained elbow. That is disappointing. But I feel as though he's just criminally underrated. It's not that he's necessarily overly good, but yeah, it's just underrated in my opinion. Edmonton, let's see if we can manage to win this game. 7-1, pretty good. We end up beating Jonas Gustafsson. Jesus, they're at 92 points though. Kyle Wellwood, Timmy Solani, Joe Thornton, Crosby with his 51st. Jesus, in a rookie season. Ovechkin only with 40 though. So probably next season or the season after, he'll probably start killing it a little bit more. But taking a quick look at how well he's done. Last season, he only got 50 points. So overall, he almost doubled his goals. 2 more games here. We're just hoping that our defense is back. 9-5. Bufflin, Pronger, Ovi, Korea there, and then Solani now. Getzlaf, Oslin, Bufflin, Ovi, Matt Sundin even getting in all of it. Just so many goals. That's not what we want from our goalie, that's for sure either. So our defense definitely took a hit. 4-3. We end up losing that game finally. Bufflin gets a goal. Crosby and Korea there. And it looks like that is going to be it for the regular season. We do find ourselves 138. So 67 wins, 138. I think that has to be a record. We'll end up looking at it off camera when we end up signing our staff there, and then we'll jump into the playoffs. But so far, yeah, that pick's going to be terrible because Red Wings are top there, and it looks like Canadians are definitely making the playoffs as well. I'm going to look at their team as well to see how well they did. Geez, they finished second in the conference. Well, technically second in the conference. LA would have realistically finished second in the conference. And then Montreal finishes fifth. So we just have to hope for a first round exit. But obviously we're not going to get a lottery pick for next year. But we'll have to kind of go all in and see if we can grab a player that probably start. Yeah, we're still win urgently. That's probably because of all the veterans. But 67 wins is pretty good. We're going to end up facing San Jose Sharks, which they've been rather difficult, so I don't know if that's really a win for us. But even our last place team has 92 points. That is good. 92 points would be good enough to be in fourth place, I guess, fourth or fifth place, realistically. So the teams that don't end up making it, West is so much harder. Even 75 for Dallas Stars would still be pretty good. They would have been in the hunt, but in our conference, they're definitely not. But taking a look, Crosby finishes second. Not bad for a rookie season. Joe Thornton finishes fifth, minus a couple points. Crosby gets the Rocket Richard, though, in his first season, and then so does Joe Thornton, almost gets all the points there. Telquist, decent save percentage. We'll take a look at our roster and see how well everyone finished at. So Crosby, Thornton, even Korea doing 1 point better than last season, but his goals definitely coming in a little bit more. 100 points for Ovechkin. Rick Nash with 93, which is considerably better than last season. And then Bufflin having an insane year with us. Jesus. We traded him at the beginning. Yeah, 89 points in 80 games is really good. That's way better than what he did last season. Getzlaff, 71. Corey Perry, 64, so already doing very well. Phaneuf with 57. Kyle Well with 51. I like seeing that. Solani with 49, so a little bit less. He's starting to find his way, probably on a third line. He's only 3-star. He does play in his career till he's like 40, but probably not going to play for us that long, I don't think. Regier now. Medano had 6 points, so Medano's definitely not going to get signed for us next season. Rob Brindamore might. 12 points is pretty good. Sundin with 5, so Sundin's definitely not going to. And Chris Pronger probably will. He's already on contract for us anyways. But let's take a quick look at some of the players, though, that we end up parting ways with. Spezza with 70 points, so a little bit less than what he did with us. Disappointing. Semin, though, 77 points. Jesus, we gave up such a gem. Definitely worth it. I think that this trade worked out very good for both teams. Semin, we gave him 3 top players. Krejci, I want to see how he did as well. So Krejci got 25 points, but he's going to develop for sure. Already 2.5 stars. Gawk actually played 40 games for them, 7 points, and then Plekanec. So their top 3 players are the guys that we end up giving up. 53 points, though. 53 points is still very, very good. And they get our first rounder, but that shouldn't really account for anything. But let's jump to the playoffs. Hopefully we can manage to get a good run, but if we end up facing off against our old team, it could be a little bit more difficult there. So we looked it up, and it means that we did end up breaking the record, though, by 3 points, and we end up winning it by 2 games as well. So 2 wins that we end up getting it pretty decent overall. But taking a look at looking out, let's see. So obviously the Hart could be Crosby there. Vesna, no, we're not going to get it, obviously, because of injuries. All three of our defensemen are nominated for the Norris. That's insane. Crosby nominated for the Calder. Yeah, nowhere close there. Keith Yandel, probably the only one closest to it. But obviously Crosby should win that one. That would be insane if he doesn't. Former Duck John Madden could get this as well. Patrice Bergeron could get the Selkie as well. Lady Bing doesn't look like anything for us, and then Crosby could get the Ted Lindsay, and we could get the Jack Adams. I think we've gotten it a couple times, but not too many. We should be able to get it though. We do face off against San Jose. This is what it ends up looking like. So we face San Jose, Detroit faces Edmonton. I think Detroit has it for sure, just to screw us over, but I would love for them to get a first round exit. Chicago's going to beat Vancouver. LA's definitely going to beat Nashville there. New Jersey for sure. Going to go with Ottawa against Rangers. We're going to go Buffalo. I think Briere can manage to do it. Not bad from being like towards the bottom last season, but definitely turning around. And you know what? I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh gets it, but it's going to be a tough matchup there for sure. So far, let's see how well the regular season worked out for us against San Jose. So November 4th, so 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins, 3-1, 3-2, and then yeah, we end up winning 4-2 in the series throughout the regular season. But I mean, everything's kind of different now. So let's see if we can manage to get the first win at home though. Wisnowski still out though. 6-2. That's what I like to see. Crosby getting his first 2 postseason goals with Nash, Thornton, and then Thornton as well with 2 other ones. So Thornton ended up getting a hat trick. Managed to send us through. Dion Phaneuf now injured. My God. Now the injuries start to happen. What the hell? Finger avulsion fracture? Now they just start making things up. Good thing we got Pronger though, because that would be disappointing. But our defense looking paper thin right now, as we have to resort to Stewart, who didn't really play that much for us this season, and even Party has to play as well. Jesus, so another another player that hasn't really played that much for us. So game 2, let's see if we can get it. We win 7-1, so defense does not matter. Bufflin, Bringdemore, Thornton there with goals, and then Klein, Regier, and Getzlaff. 7-1 is pretty decisive. Volchenkov's back at practice, and so is Wisnowski. 1 to 2 weeks, so that was pretty quick actually. Felt as though it should have been longer. Let's see if we can manage to win in San Jose. 4-1 we do not. We end up losing. The only person to record a goal though, Corey Perry in the 3rd period, so at least we got the last goal. And I mean, disappointing. We'll wait till that. Hopefully they're back. Looks like Phaneuf might be back though. See if we can manage to keep the lead here in the series, and we do not. 5-3 loss. That is not good. Rick Nash and Medano getting the only goals there. We really need our defensemen back because it's clearly starting to affect us. Look at development report. Klein up there. Getzlaff now 4.5. Face-offs are improving. Crosby's already a 5-star after year 1. So Jordy Ben looking like he's improving as well. I don't see Pogge anywhere. And then Kopitar now 2.5. He's definitely going to play for us next season. Just look at that defensive rating. Yeah, he's definitely coming for us next season. That is for damn sure. And doesn't look like any of our players are back. We do get honor for Player of the Month though. Let's go Gary Suter. Actually, Randy Carlisle. We'll do that one. And doesn't look like Phaneuf's back yet. Our Swiss cheese defense. Let's see if we can manage to win at home. We lose 5-4. We're going to get knocked out of these playoffs. Oh my God. That's how it goes, eh? After all those trades, we're going to end up getting out. None of our defensemen are back. Wisnowski's still not back. Let's see if we can manage to win. Tie up the series, go to game 7. Give us a fighting chance here. And we win 10-0. Oh my god. 10-0 after losing 3 straight. We have Bufflin, Korea, Wellwood, Korea again with a hat trick, and then we have Sundin, even Kopshin gone on there. So two hat tricks. Jesus. Crosby gets a hat trick, and Sundin does as well. Oh, still not back yet. All right, let's see if we can manage to win at home here. Game 7, and we win 6-3. My god, that was close. Crosby, Pronger, Medano, Crosby again, and then Mark Stewart and Korea gets a couple goals there. Still no one back. That is a quick series turnaround. I do not like that at all. We end up having to face LA Kings, our divisional rival. So I was right about that. Obviously, I was right about Detroit winning. I was right about Pittsburgh. Buffalo, I thought I was going to be right about, but Florida looking like they're now turning it around. I haven't seen them in the postseason in a while. And then Senators and obviously Devils as well. So I feel as though Devils are going to... Actually, you know what? I think Pittsburgh wins it. I think Pittsburgh makes it to the finals. Because I feel as though that's just kind of what has to happen. Okay, game 1. Oh my god, a lot of games regular season. 6-3 win, 5-3 win, 4-1 win, 5-2 win. So we end up losing 1 out of those. Yeah, we only lost 1 throughout the regular season to them. We win 8-0. Jesus. Corey Perry with second goal. Crosby with his 5th. Getzlaf with 2nd. Crosby again. Medano, Getzlaf, Crosby. So Crosby gets a hat trick. And then Perry does pretty well as well. 2 goals for Perry. Not bad. Come on, man. Day to day. We need Wisnowski back. Game 2, let's see if we can manage to get 2-0 lead here. 4-1 win. Chris Pronger with a goal. Nash and Bufflin. And then Ovechkin with his 3rd of the postseason. Just hurry up. I don't like the teasing. Let's see. Game 3 in LA. Can we get it? 4-0. That's what we like to see. Bringdamore shows up with his 2nd goal. Perry, Korea, and Getzlaf all with goals there as well. Good. Everyone's back. Come on. Everyone come back. Game 4 with none of these players back yet. Let's see if we can manage to get a win. Let's see if we can sweep them. We do. We managed to sweep them without any of our starters. That is terrible. But at least we end up managing to push through. Getzlaf with his 5th, Thornton with his 5th, and Medano with his 4th. Wisnowski finally back to active roster. We'll bring them all back, actually, because I don't want to have to go into this as well. And who do we end up playing? Vancouver. Wow, Vancouver knocks out Detroit. That is terrifying. And yeah, New Jersey. I guess New Jersey swept them, or almost swept them. 4-1. Insane. I don't know how well we did against them throughout the regular season. Probably shouldn't have done the FNUF thing, though. Bringing him back at... Actually, he's at 100. So we're good. So throughout the regular season, we won 2, 3, 4. We won all our matchups. See if we can start it off. See if we can get 1-0 series. 6-4. This is what happens when you have everyone. Ovechkin, Korea there with a hat trick, and then Sundin and Thornton there as well. Let's go game 2. Let's see if we can manage to start this off here. 5-4, 2-0 lead. Ovechkin, Getzlaf, Thornton, and Ovechkin again with Joe Thornton. Yeah, I think Thornton definitely has to go. This is going to make it a little bit too easy. Game 3 in Vancouver, 8-5. Can we go for the sweep, though? Wellwood showing up out of nowhere there. 2 goals. And then Bufflin, Crosby, Thornton, and Korea. And then Getzlaf, Korea, and Crosby. There's more goals that I didn't even see right off the bat. Okay, can we go for the sweep? That is the question. In Vancouver, can we make it to the finals once again? And we don't do it yet. Is Roman Czuczmanek their goalie? Yeah, it is. Roman Shishmanek, the guy that I would have obviously wanted to trade for. Wellwood gets a goal there, but not enough. We end up losing in overtime. And let's see if we can manage to get it, guys. At home, game 5, 5-3 win. We go to another finals again. I want to see the President of the United States again. Medano, Paul Kariya, Sundin, Getzlaf, Sundin again. And we do concede at the very end. I don't like that. And development report. Let's see if Pogge's in it. So we got Radulov, agility now. He's only 2.5 stars. Volchenkov, his bravery is now up. He's still 1.5 stars, but I mean, I think it's just this, but everything else is great. So I don't. What did it cost us? It cost us a first round pick, but late first rounder. Cal Wellwood developing pretty good. Leadership's now improving. Jordy Benz still 0.5 stars. I don't see him. Where is he? Pogge's still only a half a star. 37 wins though. That is pretty good. 900 save percentage, so he's still not there. We're going to have to wait probably another season before we can even think about bringing him up. And especially with Telquist, we should be good. So we face off against Florida. Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to have to see how that worked. Ed Belfour, obviously. Actually, should Ed Belfour won. We might have to... Oh, okay. Brett Hall. Going to take off Belfour. Sean Burke, I like a little bit more, but Paul Coffey, obviously. Dino Cicerelli should be on as well. Yeah, I'm going to go Dino Cicerelli there. Paul Coffey, Mark Messier. Yeah, all those guys deserve to be Hall of Fame for sure. Series went 4-0. My God, they swept them. Who do they have on their team? Kovalchuk. Interesting. David Backus too. Straka, Vermette, Molson. Ejovnoski stays there, and then Nathan Horton. It was crazy that he ended up going to their team as well. 2003 is when they drafted him. They drafted him, I think, in real life too. Yeah, that is insane. Doesn't show that his favorite team is them, though. So I don't know how many times we faced off against him in the regular season. But, twice, and we won both. So hopefully you can manage to win this one as well. Mike Dunham's their goalie, and Joe Thornton's facing off against Kovalchuk on the right wing. Joe Thornton's on the right wing, eh? Game 1, see if we can manage to win at home. And we do 7-1. Getzlaf with 2. Enough with his first, and then Wellwood, Wisnowski, and Wellwood. Crazy second period. And then we do concede to Nathan Horton, and then Rob Bringmore gets the dagger at the end. And we're going to delete that. It's kind of annoying. Let's go 8-3. So we go to Florida. Let's see if we can manage to get that. Kariya, Thornton, and Nash get goals in the first. And then don't score anything in the second, and then Nash and then Wellwood score. Wellwood, eight goals in the postseason. We do get extended. I don't like how it does it year by year. I think it should do it. You should be able to sign like a 20-year extension or something like that, or a 10-year extension. See if we can manage to win in Florida here. 4-2. So up 3-0 in the series. Nash, Ovechkin, and Crosby with 2 goals there as well. Let's go for the sweep here. Let's see if we can manage to get one sweep. We do 5-1 is what it is. Crosby there, Ovechkin, Nash, Wisnowski, and Kariya. And that is number 8. I think we're now at the top. Go with history here. So we're now top 3. So only trailing Montreal and the Leafs. I don't think we end up catching Montreal in the next 20 seasons. But still very good. That makes it 4 in a row. And yeah, I guess 8 out of 9 is pretty insane. We only didn't win the first season that we ended up doing, and then the one that we ended up losing to Senators. But insane. We'll have to take a look at how all their players did in the postseason. Playoffs wise, so guys that we're considering, Mike Modano got 8 points. Didn't really do that great in the regular season for us though. Bringdamore got 13, but got 12 points in 23 games. So we might re-sign him as well. Pronger's still going to be with us, but 32 points for Crosby, 31 for Korea, 29 for Thornton, and then 27 for Ovechkin. Nash coming in hot as well, 22, and then Getzlaf with 20, and then Perry with 16. Wellwood 15. That is pretty good considering. I mean, he was third line, and third line definitely showed up. Now Solani is now bumped down to fourth line, and looks like who didn't get the nod then? Oh, Sundin's still there. Modano bumps up to the second line. Do we have an injury though? Oh no, Thornton moved to the right wing. That's what it is. Okay, so Ovechkin, Crosby, and Thornton were their top line, and then Korea, Getzlaf, and Nash was our second line towards the end of the season. But cap obligation, let's see what he wants. 1.9. Annual, we do have around 5 million, 6 million next season, so we could probably afford that, but I do want to bring in some of our youngsters first, so we'll probably take a look at that before we do anything else. But once again, 8th championship for us. We managed to get 2 sweeps actually. LA Kings and Florida Panthers. We managed to sweep there. And pretty insane overall. We'll take a look at our history. Paul Kariya now with 1240 points leader. That's insane. Timmy Solani was second. He can get 1,000 points for sure. And he's also in second. St. Louis still in the top 3. Healy would have been the only one that would have been able to beat him, but obviously now that's not going to happen. Ryan Miller now with the shutout lead with 51. Insane. 202 for wins leader as well. So all in all, very good for us. 67 wins is pretty insane. Paul Kariya, let's look at it in the regular or in the postseason. Wisnowski will pass Heatley for second all time in points for us. And Trigg now not with us either. Regier could, well, probably won't. So it's going to open it up. We're going to be able to see a lot more from our team as well. Points-wise, Korea with postseason, 233. That is insane. Solani with 200. Point per game, St. Louis 137. Heatley with 104. So we end up winning without 2 of our promising players. But obviously, Ovechkin and Crosby on our team is definitely going to make it crazier. Zitnik, yeah, Wisnowski with 96 is pretty good. And even after one season, Crosby with 32 is insane. Fenaganov, let's see how well he did. He got 66 grade, he got 80 points. That is what I want to see. So we'll take a look at all our players, actually, and look at our transactions. Transaction log, let's go straight for trades. And, I mean, Upshaw I don't think probably did anything. 4 points in 18 games, that's not necessarily the greatest. Paragosan, he got 7 points in 16 games, that's pretty good. He might carve his role for sure. Sean Avery, which I hated to see let go. 4 points, but 61 grade is still pretty good. Ponikarovsky, that one hurt as well. 11 points in 19 games. Definitely like to see that. Rob Bringdamore was on Flyers before, jeez. Let's see, Heatley. Healy managed to get 98 points, 51 goals. So he definitely got more opportunities to score for sure without being on our team. Fenaganov, yeah, we saw that. 80 points is pretty good. Eriksson, I don't think he's playing yet. And then obviously our first and second. Let's look at Trigg. Jesus, Trigg with, I thought it was 88 points, 42 points, 68 grades, so he's definitely going to be a good role for them as well. Skula managed to play 35 points in 78 games. That's all in all pretty good as well. And let's see St. Louis. St. Louis got only 55 points. So he takes a bit of a step back, but on a worse team. So it kind of makes sense. I'll give him that. He is 30 now, though. He is 30? Jesus. Yeah, he's 30. Oh my god. So we had him for a while. And Rio Barra's obviously not playing yet. Spezza had 71 points. So again, a little bit less than what he did with us. So, but their team did overall very good. So yeah, we basically gave Spezza, Plekanec, Krejci, Semin, and Gok. So yeah, that was definitely a fair trade. You guys can comment in the section below if you end up thinking that it was an unfair trade, but everything's kind of shifted. We're going to kind of see how well this team ends up doing, obviously, with those players as well. But we're probably going to play the next couple seasons. We might do a jump again after that if it feels as though everything's going to be pretty similar, though. But we'll end up taking a look at that and then kind of go according to that. Jump through a couple seasons and then play a full season and kind of do it as we did here. If you guys like it, we'll definitely do it. But if not, you might end up holding off. But we will get our 600th win. So far, 579 wins in 820 games. That is very, very good. We only lost 184, so not even 200 yet, but probably after the season, it probably will be. 38 ties and then 19 overtime losses. Championship number 8, GM of the year 2. So all in all, did very good though. But let's see what this team looks like next season. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and thank you for watching. Until next time.